Hello all, welcome to the Model Way podcast, where we inspire, motivate, and teach both new and seasoned models industry standards. My name is Lenny Wheeler, I'm your host today. Today we have one of our special guests, model and beauty extraordinaire, Miss Hannah, coming onto our set today. First of all, I'd like you to subscribe, like to the channels. We got to get the algorithms going, guys, so we can spread the word about modeling. We'll be right back.
Take me in your arms, do just what you want. You're the one I trust. I belong to you, and I'll always be around when I need some loving, baby.
Welcome back, guys. Guys, my special guest, Miss Hannah Broaddus here, is on our show today, and kind of wanted to go through her journey a little bit, kind of get some insights and kind of talk through the industry, some of the things and some of the positives and negatives that we've gone through, and some of the routes that models will take and some of the advice that she's going to give. Miss Hannah, how are you?
Hi. How
Wonderful.
are you?
It's good
so
to
good to
see you. How have you been?
I've been great, busy.
Wonderful. So what have you been doing out there? So you're in Arizona now, right? So
Living it up in the heat.
You're living out in the heat right now. What's the temperature out there right now?
Like 109. What is it? Today's October 5th or 6th, and it's 109 degrees.
Oh my gosh, that is like the craziest weather out there. I've lived out there for a few years when I was in the Marine Corps, and I remember those temperatures would get up to 120 plus sometimes, and it can be kind of dangerous a little bit, right? So that's just kind of crazy there. But hey, thanks for coming to the show. We're glad to have you. I kind of wanted to ask you, so tell us about yourself a little. Where are you from? How did you get to where you are right now?
So I'm originally from Amarillo, Texas, small little town in West Texas.
Right.
Moved out to Phoenix about 5.5 years ago. That's where I'm originally from.
Nice. So you started. So let me ask this. So when you were in Amarillo, I think you told me at one point that you started when you were 12. Tell me about like how that became about. What made you want to become a model per se?
Well, when you're 5'10" at 12 years old, people just randomly stop you and tell you, oh, you should model. And there was actually a photography studio. His name's Craig Stinham. He's a great photographer. Still keep in touch with him. So he had like a little sign outside his studio, and he was like, "Models wanted, come test." And so my mom signed me up for that, and that's what we did.
Nice. So when he actually contacted you, what happened at that point? Did you guys just start taking some pictures, or was it like a casting for him to build a portfolio and then you got pictures in exchange?
So I actually just walked in and I met with him, and he was like, okay, come back in like a t-shirt and some jeans and we'll shoot some headshots. And that's what we did. And then from there, that's how I kind of got into it. When he had clients, he would call me and I would shoot for them. And then that's kind of how I just got introduced into the modeling world.
Wow. If I remember correctly, I remember you used to shoot with him quite a bit. When you and I met, I remember you were doing a lot of pictures with him and just kind of going through the motions with that and kind of building a book and kind of building a name for yourself. What was the journey? Was the journey hard going from 12? So you did this at 12. I mean, how tall were you at 12?
I was probably close to 5'10". I don't think I grew that much from 12 to I was tall. Everyone in my family's tall, but yeah, I mean, starting out, you don't really get paid for your work, which is, when you're young, I guess it doesn't matter too much, but as you get older, you're like, no, I'm not willing to, do as much, for pictures in exchange.
Right. Yeah, that makes it the hard part. I think a lot of, I had a podcast recently when we talked about that, what, models have to go through, from the beginning all the way to the final destination. It's really not a final destination. It's kind of a continuous journey that's constantly never ending, right? And so you're there, but so you're in Arizona now. What did you? You're signed now, right? I'm assuming you're signed. What agency are you with?
I am with the Ford agency now. I've been with them for a little over 2 years now. I love them. Yeah, you just have to advocate for yourself because I mean, still to this day, I'll get people like, "Oh, do you want to do an exchange for photos?" And I
Mm-hmm.
have this clothing company, and it's like, no, 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 you have to start being like, "Nope, these are my rates. You have to go through my agent."
Mm-hmm.
But when you're starting out, you do need to work with photographers, and it is a little bit of a give and a take because you do need the experience. You
Right.
need to meet people and you need to build your book. So it is important to just get out there and shoot and just have fun with it, I think.
Oh man, that makes it good because it takes a lot of practice, and I don't think that people really understand. Like, just because you're a pretty face doesn't mean you're gonna get all these bookings, right? Like, so you have to go through that
Oh,
journey just
yeah.
like everybody else. And I remember you going through that journey, right? So that's just absolutely crazy. But I mean, you're out there now and you're doing this. So are you getting regular work? Or are you starting to move through the ranks a little bit with it?
Yeah, I think so. So actually today and yesterday I had a Dillard's fashion show. So it was downtown at the Women's Expo and it's a huge runway. And so I did that yesterday and today. And then you start getting like regular clients like every
Yeah,
year for the fall fashion show. And then they do one in April, they do one in Christmas. Dillard's just asks me back every time. And then you just
nice.
work with different companies and the same clients and they request you. And
Right,
so it's
right.
very
So
important to be, go
go
ahead.
ahead. I'm sorry. It's very important to be
No, no,
what?
I think it's to be, early, be in a good mood, have everything. Cause like they'll send you, your agent will send you a call sheet and it'll be like, be this place at this time with this and have if they're not, providing hair and makeup, sometimes they do, sometimes they don't, then you need to really just like be in a good mood, be presentable, be nice with the other models
Hmm.
and just work well with people because then they're going to want you, back for future
That's
campaigns.
important you say that. I heard you talk about, like being in a good mood. I mean, that's very important. I mean, I think that there's a lot of negativity that comes with modeling sometimes and I know you've seen it, like where other girls or guys will get negative about this and that. And then you're just like moving along, right? Or you see everybody else moving along and you're not. It can put you in a negative space. Am I right?
So actually, I have never really had any drama. I mean, since I've been with the
Wow.
Ford agency, I haven't had any drama with any models, any agents, any clients, nothing. I
That's
think
super
when you
good.
get to the professional level, everybody is, I don't know, it's just very positive, honestly, because I feel like there is that, like, thoughts that people
Hmm.
have that models are mean and they're selfish, but I really haven't experienced any of that. Everyone's, I have everybody on social media and we all hype each other up. And I don't know. It's very encouraging. I've never really been in a group of people like this where everybody's happy for each other and no one's really trying to backstab each other.
Right.
I don't
No,
know.
that's really cool because I mean, on the contrary, on the other end of it, you hear about a lot of that, right? Or I've seen a lot of it where there can be a lot of
When I
negativity if
was
something's not
younger,
going right. What's that?
when I was younger, there was a lot of the cattiness.
Yes.
I think as you get older, I'm 29, so as you get older, honestly, you get more work because I feel like I don't know if it's people just lose interest in modeling or
Mm-hmm.
maybe they move on with different careers or go to college or
Yeah.
have kids and they're not into the modeling world as much, and so maybe
Yeah.
there's less competition or I don't know what it is. But another thought that people have is that when you turn like 23, you're just off the modeling spectrum, but I
Mm-hmm.
see older models getting more work.
I'm glad you made that point because I did a 20-minute cast show on this thing and I talked about the transition going from the younger age and like a lot of people say like you're done. Back in the day it was like if you were 26 you were like done, like it was over, like it was
You're
over.
like
But was
dead.
it really? I mean, because like you're saying, like the commercial part of it, when people start transitioning into their 30s, I believe there's more work because people start having kids
Absolutely.
and really it's really
Yeah.
cool because like people start having kids and they get married or they become empty nesters or whatever the case might be. But that there's a whole spectrum of money out there for models to make way past their 30s, and I'm so glad that you're there. How have you transitioned to that? I mean, as far as going from a like kind of a high fashion model up into your right almost at 30 and you're doing this, but like you're getting all this work. I mean, tell us what you're doing different.
I think it's just, your agent really wants you to update your book, get new headshots every like 3 to 6 months, honestly. So you're just marketing yourself better,
Right.
you know? So, and honestly, I've done like the high fashion stuff and there's more money in the lifestyle and the commercial industry. You know, when you have
Mm-hmm.
speaking parts and you're doing commercials and voiceovers, whatever it may be, you get to have a little bit more personality. You know, when I first started out, it was like lose weight, lose weight, lose weight, lose weight. I would always try to get with agencies, and that's they've just like, we love your look, we love this about you, just lose 25 pounds. And it's like, oh my
Damn.
gosh. You
I
know,
know
I
it's
look at
hard.
pictures
Like
of
I remember
myself.
that, like when you were trying to go through all this stuff and you were trying to really get to the high fashion point and everybody kept pushing. Even me, I was like, Miracle, you lose a few inches, right? Like, and then get you there. And then all of a sudden it's like you get cut because you're beautiful. And then all of a sudden it's like, holy shit, man, I gotta lose some inches. And you don't really want to because you like your health, right? Like you want to stay healthy and curvy and all this cool stuff that comes along with being a woman. And it's just really, really super crazy though. But it's really cool. But like I wanted to kind of tell everybody about and have you talk through this with me. You know, what are the main differences between being a commercial model versus a fashion model or a lifestyle model even? You know, you want to tell us what your thoughts are on that?
Yeah, so usually, I mean, every agency's a little different, but the Ford agencies that I'm with, they have like a main board, which is going to be
Right.
like the younger, like the 17 to like 25, and that's more of the high fashion look. And then you
Mm-hmm.
have your plus size, and then you have the lifestyle, which is going to be the commercial, the speaking parts, kind of
Mm-hmm.
more like think of all the commercials that you see when you're watching TV, the Febreze commercials, the Lysol
Right.
commercials, those are lifestyle models.
Yeah, those are
They almost
those.
have like a more, yeah,
No, yeah,
more
yeah,
a
you're right. Go
universal
ahead.
look,
They have a more of a what?
a universal look in a way.
Yeah, and I like to call it like an everyday look because like that's the
Yeah.
those are the people that are actually doing stuff, right? Like they're not. I mean, the high fashion world is not a real. I mean, it's real, but it's not like what everybody, the consumer, is actually buying, right? Like so, like you got things like Target. You know, even Dillard's is a really commercial. I mean, they do have some high fashion stuff, but it's more commercial and can be more lifestyle. But you're actually getting work from those brands, which is really nice, you know. So I don't know, like with the measurements and everything, I mean, it's crazy because like I've been taught over the last 15, 16 years about measurements and being a high fashion model and, you know, the strenuousness that comes with that, right? Like if they're wanting you to be like a 02 and a 34 hip, and sometimes that's not possible, you know. So, but you've navigated through that and got past that, and I think your timing just hits you just right, like since you signed with Ford because you found the right niche for yourself and your body type and the height, you've got it, and that makes a huge difference, right? What are your thoughts about the
Oh
whole
yeah.
measurements, like the measurements in the industry?
Oh, it's crazy. I mean, when I was like 15, 16, it was all about the measurements. I remember agents would
Mm,
be like, we just don't sign anybody. They're like, you can either, you know, go up in sizes and become a plus size model, or we
right.
need you to lose like 1 to 2 inches, because they just
Mm.
wouldn't take anybody that was bigger than like I believe it was like a 37-inch hip.
Golly, yeah, that's
So
crazy. Yeah, yeah,
it's
and it's
just like
hard.
PTSD with the measurement coming at me. Um,
Yeah.
but now, like, Ford never tells me to lose weight. They are not negative about it. Nothing. It's so different in the last 10 plus years. I think the industry is really changing, as they should, because it's just ridiculous. Some people
Yeah,
are
yeah.
that naturally like 00, and that's fine.
Oh
But there
yeah.
needs to be like some different looks.
And you know, Hannah, I heard like this is what I've seen like on like YouTube and stuff like this, and kind of even talked to some people, even with the plus size modeling. There's some of the agencies out there wanting you to gain more weight, like, and it's like ridiculous. I'm like, why are you making this girl like she's already pretty big and she's obese? Why are you making her more obese? You're like that's not healthy either, right? Like, and it's one of those things. I think it's something that they're really starting to navigate through the industry. And like you said, like a lot of stuff has changed, man. It's gotten so much better now with measurements, and I don't have to be so strenuous
Oh
on the
yeah.
models and say, hey, they're not stressing about their sizes. But now like the other hand though, like if you're wanting to walk for like Versace or Dolce Gabbana and all these guys like that out there, they're gonna be like tight, like with the measurements. And I get that, but it's like still like I'm so glad
Yeah,
that you
that's okay.
found what you found like in your business, like now that you're doing what you're doing, which is really cool. You know, so as far as like runway modeling and stuff like that, have you done a lot of runway?
I feel like I do not have like a runway body. Like I do not have the 00. My measurements aren't as small as they would like, but I do actually book a lot of runway stuff, which is kind of
Wow.
funny. But I do a lot of beauty stuff. I think it's really important in the modeling industry is to just like look healthy, have healthy looking, shiny, well taken care of hair, make sure your skin looks good,
Mm-hmm.
your teeth. It's just all about looking healthy and
Mm-hmm.
vibrant.
I agree.
And,
That's so good. That's so good. I know you're like an amazing model, like to shoot. Like you're like one of the best posers to this day, for me at least, right? Like
well, you're
I
one
don't
of
think
my
I've had
favorite
one better. What's
photographers.
that?
Oh, well, you are a great photographer always to work
Thank
with.
you, thank you, thank you, thank you. How do you approach your shoots now? Like I know you like before when you were younger, and me and you used to go out and shoot all the time. Not all the time, but we did a lot of stuff together, right?
We
Like,
did a lot, honestly.
and I wish I had those pictures, man. They're around here somewhere. It's like the archives.
I have
I
them.
gotta go pull
I
those
have them.
out.
I got them.
You got them? You got them on the?
I do.
Oh man, show on. Look, you got it in front of you right there.
Oh, no, no,
No,
I
no, we're
have them
gonna
on
send me
Facebook. I
some
know.
so I can post it on here
I
with
will.
this. But how do you approach your shoots now versus then? Like, you had a lot of difference with your shoots back then. So I think we mostly posed like editorial stuff, right? Like we wanted to look high fashion, right? Like, how do you approach it now in a shoot for editorial versus commercial?
Well, sometimes on set they have choreographers. And when I think choreographer, I think of like dancing, obviously,
Hmm.
but they literally will pose you, which I feel like I'm good at posing, but they will literally pose you. And it's
Hmm.
very important if you're going to show up, if you're just not getting in the modeling industry, you want to, you know, make sure that your nails are, if they are painted, very like a nude, a very light pink, no chipped dark nail polish. You need to,
Right.
I always shave my face because when you're up close and shooting,
I love
you
it.
can see like your little baby hairs, and you need to do your nose and all,
The imperfections. Yeah. Yeah. How?
exfoliate the day of the
Oh
shoot, make sure
man.
you're moisturized and looking good.
That part, girl. I mean, yeah, because like people don't realize that they have to like take care of that. I think that goes with like taking care of the skin too, right? Like, so if you come in with a lot of what is those things like acne and like imperfections with the acne, and it's totally controllable, but you come in like that, it makes a huge difference if your skin's clean. For editors, like when you go into photography, it's a lot of work cleaning up the dots, right? Like, or connecting the dots, if you will. But that's so cool that you talk about that and getting through that. Now, did you have a hard time? I mean, posing comes natural to you. So what do you think the most important part of posing is, as far as like parts of your body? Is your face? Is it your, I think it's your face is probably the biggest thing. What do
I
you,
think it's about finding your light because it's
right.
all about lighting. There's such a difference in pictures on if you can find, if you're doing an outdoor shoot. I mean, the
Right.
photographer will probably be a little experienced and be able to do that, but you need to like have the sun on you. It will help. Don't be in the shadows, and make sure you're just always facing the light, and don't make sure your chin's kind of down. You don't want to like be showing everybody up your nose and all that.
I know that makes it hard. Like, you know how a lot of people, they just raise their chin and like, damn, I forgot to shave my the
I
hairs
know,
in
you
my
got to keep
nose,
it all
man.
shaved and plucked.
I know, so you got to be careful
And
with that. Yeah, for sure, for
and a
sure, for
lot of
sure.
times I'll ask the photographer after a few shots, oh, can I see how it looks? Just so I can see how I'm looking, if I need to change my position.
That's
It's just
good.
all about being aware.
That's good. That's good. That's
And
good.
make sure you have like soft, pretty hands. You don't want to be like gripping something like that.
I know.
You
I
want to have
know.
soft and like don't almost be not be touching it, just like barely soft hands.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, that's important because like people don't realize, like I think newer models get into the business and they're like, I can shoot, and then they get nervous. Like when they're on set, you've been around them, right? Like they're like, what do I do? And then have you ever been the one that's just been sitting there trying to help them out and get them relaxed on the set, right? It's crazy. I know you've done it a lot,
Oh
though.
yeah.
And they get in there and then they get so like nervous, and it's like, just relax, breathe. Like I always have them breathe through their nose, like,
Oh
and then
yeah.
just let it out, and then relax, and then just go with it. And then like, what do I do with my hands? So those are good points you're making, man. And then just I think just
Point the
having,
toes,
yeah, point your toes, and
being aware of all of your body, your whole body
yeah,
when you're
and
shooting.
I think it comes natural though after a while when you start really doing it a lot, and then it just becomes something that just becomes second nature. It's like riding a bike, right? And that's really really nice. Tell me, do you have any memorable experiences in this business? I mean, what's your most memorable thing about
Oh
it?
gosh.
I know that's a tough
Most
question.
memorable.
You got a lot of them, probably.
Probably, I know. Probably when I got the call that Ford was going to sign me.
Wow.
I was like this because I've been trying to get signed with the modeling agency since I was like 14, 15 years old.
Yeah.
And then I actually was supposed to be on America's Next Top Model. I was 18 years old
Wow.
and my mom was like, "Oh, do it, do it, do it. Like try." So she took the pictures and I remember like having to rush to the like UPS building or something to send my pictures off. And I
Mhm.
remember I was at work in Amarillo and I got a call from this casting director named Raphael,
Wow.
and he was like, "Hey, so you made it through the first process of America's Next Top Model," and it was just
Right.
like every week. I just kept going further and further and further, and they were having me, like having my family, my brothers and my parents sign confidentiality agreement. On America's Next Top Model, it looks like, when you watch the show, it looks like if you get kicked off the first week, you just like go
Hmm.
home. But I found out that that's not how it is. You go to a separate house because sometimes they'll bring models back. And then
Hmm.
also, they don't want you to like go home and tell everybody this is what happened, that's what happened, this is the winner. So they kind of keep you contained for, I think it's like 4 to 6 weeks.
Oh, wow.
But so that kind of freaked me out. I was like 18. I was like, I'm gonna have to like go to a house and we don't have a phone. And I remember they didn't want to have any doors on any of the bedrooms or doors on the bathroom. And they ask you really very personal questions because they
Hmm.
really want to get to know you and see how they can portray you. And so that was pretty crazy.
No, that's crazy though. But I mean, what if you had done that though? That would have been really fun. Like that would have been like a really once in a lifetime
I was so
opportunity.
scared though.
I
I
know.
was the first year that they were going to have boys on the show and they were like, "Oh, like what do you think? Do you think that
Yeah.
like you'll have like a romance and stuff?" And I was like, no,
No,
like
no,
my
no, no,
parents are
no,
going to be
no.
watching this."
No, that's
I was like,
hard though.
"What?"
Yeah, for sure, for sure, for sure. But I think it would have been cool just to be able to like meet Tyra and do all that and then
Oh
kind
yeah.
of go through the drama a little bit. I think it probably would have put you on a different map, with
I should
that.
have
But
played it up more. I think they wanted me to be a little bit more dramatic than I was probably giving them the idea that I would be.
hmm yeah, and you're not a drama. I didn't.
So,
I don't think you've ever been a drama type person. So that's been kind of a cool thing. But it could have been a blessing in
yeah.
disguise too, right? So that's
Oh
totally
yeah.
awesome. Yes. So what do you
You know
think?
what? I think she's revamping it. Maybe I'll try out again if she ever
Is
does.
she really? Oh my god, that would be freaking amazing. They had how many seasons were on that thing? Was it like
Oh
it was
my
like
gosh,
it
like
was like 10 or
20.
12 or something crazy? I mean, it was nuts, and it got crazier every time to do that. People did it, but I think I watched it like one time. I think it was, isn't it on Netflix or something?
Yeah, yeah. I think the reruns are on Netflix. Yeah.
Yeah, and so like you can watch those things, and you go back to like the very first one. That was like a long time ago. It's like, dang, this thing looks old. The footage looks old. It looks vintage.
I was like, why
Like
was I
damn.
11 watching this?
No, I
Should
know you're
not have been
watching
watching
11
this
years
in my
old. You're like, damn, I want to be
little.
that right there.
My
It's
mom's
just
like, "Oh,
crazy.
okay."
I know. All right. So on your some of your personal experiences, how do you normally handle rejection? I mean, I don't think I handle it very well, but maybe you do.
I just, it's kind of like in life. I try not to take it personally,
Hmm.
but sometimes it does feel personal. you know so
Hmm.
like the process is that your agent will email you and be like, are you available for this date at this time, this is the location, and this is the rate. And then you will say, yes, I'm available, no, I'm not. If you are available, then your agent will submit your online portfolio to the client, and then the client will choose who they want for their campaign or the runway show, whatever it is.
Right. Right.
So I'm not going to lie. I get rejected more than I get approved. And I think everybody does.
I think so
There's more
too.
rejection than there is.
Yeah, there's
So
way
it's
more
just going
rejection
in
than
knowing
the
that.
jobs you're going to get. So that makes it kind of
Yep.
challenging for one. And I think sometimes if you can get through that whole thing with the rejection, you can go, because sometimes you'll get rejected 20, 25 times before that one job just comes
Oh,
up.
yeah.
And I'm sure they're telling you not you're getting rejected all the time, because they're probably submitting you to clients and brands, and the client will usually message forward, and they'll be like, the booker's like, okay, I'm gonna send these girls there because they fit the description, you don't ever hear about it, right? But they're gonna call you as soon as, hey, you got dibs on this thing. Let's see if you're available, right? So that's the hard part, though. But I think sometimes people take things too personal with it when it doesn't have to be that way. It's just kind of like interviewing for a job, right? So that's cool. Thanks for your insight on that. Guys, before we continue, please like and subscribe to the channel. We need to get the algorithms up, and I appreciate you. Yeah, definitely. She's going to share it too, but thank you. Subscribe, please. Subscribe. Guys, welcome back again. We're here with Miss Hannah Broaddus, and she's here all the way from Arizona, and I'm super excited about having her. And we just got done talking about kind of her journey and kind of that process that she went through and some of the things that she's experienced along being a commercial model. She's signed with Ford, guys. That's huge. And she's almost 30 years old. I'm not going to put her 30 years. She's 29 years old. And there is
I'm 29.
modeling. She's 29. And there is modeling after 26, guys. I promise you, I've talked about this and I'm proving my point. Do you hear me? Okay, here we go.
It's not too late. It's not. It's really not.
It's not too late. I think, speaking on that, we talked about brands and stuff like that. There's a lot of commercial stuff out there, Hannah. And I find it really amusing because the people that are actually got money, they're in their 30s and 40s. Like they got money to spend for brands. So people want models. They want to look at the models. Oh, I can do that just like her. She looks like she's my age. They're related. It's relatable, right? And so I think that's really cool. And it's super exciting that you're able to talk about that and kind of, clarify exactly what I said. And you're kind of verifying that. And it's really awesome, right? So
Lenny knows what he's talking about. He always did.
Thank you.
You've been giving me advice for, how long you been giving me advice for? 10 years probably?
Dang, girl. I mean, I've known you since.
We go back.
Man, I think I've known you since you were like 18. Were you at high school? Didn't you go to like Tascosa or something? Which high school did you go to?
Tascosa.
Yeah, and I think you were just graduated or you were in your senior year when I knew you. Like it was like really, or maybe even younger. Maybe you were a junior, but I think I've known you a good part of. Yeah, 10, 12 years.
Good part of my
easy.
modeling journey.
Yeah, 10 to 12 years easy, like hands down. And a lot of, it's funny because like a lot of the models that I began with, like when I first started managing and stuff like that, you were a big part of that. Like you're a big part of my development as a manager and got into that. Like I remember having to give you advice and, hey, you need to do this and that. I remember all that. And a lot of that, you just pile it together and it just comes together with all this years of experience and then shooting and learning about photography and dealing with agencies all over the world, like Milan, Paris, London, China. I mean, I've been everywhere, Mexico even. Like I've had models everywhere. And so it's kind of cool. I want to just let you know, you've been a big part of that. And I don't know if you remember Bailey?
Oh yeah.
So Bailey did an interview with me and she talked about that too. Like you two and then like a couple of other ones like Caitlin and all them. Y'all were like some of my first models. Like I considered y'all my models, right? Like, cause I bred you like my own, right? Like it was fun, like helping raise you guys into this business. And here you are, it's like really like thriving on this. It's really, really cool, And I think it's just awesome. It's just really awesome just to be getting through this and kind of talking through this stuff here and just kind of getting through these notes and everything else that I wanted to go through and things like that. And there was a couple of things that I wanted to talk about too as well. I think we're almost done. Oh, I wanted to talk about this like parts modeling. Are you doing any parts modeling at all?
Parts modeling?
Yeah. So a parts model is a person that has like we're talking about hands and all that stuff. You may have a good feature about you, like your hands or your feet and your toes. You got pretty toes and you put on a pair of heels and you can show off your legs. Those are parts models. Like even your lips, like you got really good full lips. So like you may want to ask your agency about that because they may have that. But can you?
No, definitely. So the hand modeling is.
It's like, look at these.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
So I actually work with this brand that is like an all clean beauty brand, and a lot of it's you're going to be like holding the jar, holding this. So it's important, yeah. So I guess I am.
That is parts modeling. You're doing it already. And they're just showing your hands, right? With the jar. Oh, see, those pay big, man. Those pay big dollars. Like that's really cool that you're able to do that and get through that and have that opportunity to do that.
one of my posters is currently at one of the malls outside the store. So that's cool. Run into yourself while you're out shopping.
Oh
There's no
yeah.
better feeling.
Oh yeah. That makes a difference like that and stuff like that. How have you? So have you worked with a lot of designers? Have you been able to work with any designers or your biggest brand or anything like that? And what's your favorite brand that you've worked with?
Oh gosh. Not really like any designers. I kind of do the beauty, the skincare, the makeup, jewelry, that kind of photo shoots, or I'll do just like runway. And a lot of it is for like stores, like
Oh,
either
cool.
like local boutiques or, bigger stores like Dillard's and things like that. But
No, that's cool.
nothing
Hey,
too crazy, but
and I was gonna tell you too, like when you get older and you start getting gray hairs, don't color your hair because gray's in. It's like seriously, like
I
it's like a
know.
bonus. It's like a plus. It's like the cherry on the top. Like once you get to that point, if you ever get to that point modeling in your career, don't lose the grays. Keep the grays because it's a money maker, man. So that's. I hope to see you there one day, and we need to get together and shoot again. I hope one day you can come
I
down to Texas
know.
and get back in front of the camera with me, and we can take some
I would
pictures
love
again.
to.
That would be so much fun, wouldn't it? I
Got
think that's
I've got some
awesome.
family in Dallas. I'll let you know when I'm in there, when I'm there
No,
next time.
definitely, definitely, definitely. So do you keep up with trends, like any trends, like styling? What's your normal dress? How do you normally dress? How do you normally dress? I think you've always been what's that, boho type shoot, like girl. I,
Yes.
mean, I remember that. You
Hmm.
always had that really cool look and style about you. You remember that boho shoot we did, like in the desert,
In the
like you and I shot
field.
those things. Remember we went way over there, like in the ranch, and we were like on a dirt road, and we just went out there and just pulled out the car and just like, let's go shoot, and we did. We got some
And
cool
the
stuff.
photos are beautiful.
Yeah, I wish I could. I
They
need to
really
find
are.
those pictures, man. You got
I
them though.
have them. I'll send them to you.
Send them to me. I can't. I gotta. I gotta. We're gonna put this stuff online there. So
We
that's really
will.
cool. You have. So what do you tell me about? How would you? I mean, no, not how would you? Do you have any like advice for like new models starting out? Say if you were, could you? What would you tell the old Hannah, the 14-year-old Hannah, again about modeling?
Oh gosh. Wow. I would tell somebody I don't have any tattoos, but if I was to give someone else advice, don't. If you don't already have them, don't get any tattoos.
Why is that? Why do you think that is?
Because you want to be a blank slate for whoever the client is. And,
Right.
some are easy to mask with clothes, or you can do makeup and stuff. But just don't get them. If you don't have them, just don't get them.
Yeah, and
That'd
I
be
don't.
my advice.
Yeah,
Also, go
that's
ahead.
good advice because I think when people get tattoos, they limit themselves, and there's a market for that, but I think you got a broader range of that. Like you can, like if you're on a shoot, they can hire a makeup artist if they want to see a tattoo. They can go in and put a tattoo on you
Oh
like
yeah.
that just to give you what you need. So that's just absolutely crazy. But I just don't understand why people would come in this business with the tattoos. I mean, what's your thoughts about like being natural? Like you're very natural. I think you don't put all the you don't have a lot of you don't usually wear a lot of. I've never seen you with a ton of makeup on or the big the eyebrows or the eyelashes that come out here and then you can't walk on it. Have you seen that? Have you seen that TikTok video with those guys putting those barber clippers on their things? This is what y'all look like, and one of them
Oh
actually tripped
man.
and fell back. It was so funny, you know.
Oh,
But
yeah. I think I have. I think I know what you're talking about.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's all about doing what gives you the most confidence, the most self-esteem, because when you feel the best about yourself, you're going to be your best version of yourself, and you're going to be confident, you're going to be happy. When you feel good, you look good, and whatever that is. If it is a ton of makeup, that's fine, but it's just all about being yourself and finding that style and
I
just
think
being
so
happy
too.
with your look.
So a lot of times, like when models have to go out to like castings and stuff like that, they do, and a lot of them aren't done personally like they were 10 years ago. But if they do, like they go to casting calls like in Milan and places like that. But now, like in Milan, they're making them. You don't have to like wear leggings and a tank top, black leggings and a tank. You can go in there with a
Really?
nice little style showing your form
Oh
and
yeah.
hit home runs with that because it'll set you apart. But I think people just got to learn how to have their own style. And sometimes agencies will go out there and they'll tell, especially the high fashion ones, they'll say, hey, you need to do this, change your hair, cut it, and gives them a phenomenal look. And I think a lot of girls get insecure about that because for whatever reasons, like when girls love their hair, like it's like they're Samson, right? Like in the Bible, right? Like I got to keep my hair. You're not getting rid of my hair, you know. But
that's probably how I would be.
I know, and you know, but I've seen girls go in, Hannah, and it's like, wow, man, you did this and that, and look at you, like you look amazing, and then they love it, right? Like it's like everybody's getting compliments and. You know, casting directors love them and brands love them. And you know, sometimes we got to get through those obstacles with them. But I think in the end, you know, it is hair. That's real, you know, but it's one of those things. But no, I totally get why somebody would not do that. Like, it's just crazy. But yeah, that's awesome, girl. Girl, it's been so good to talk to you. I'm just super excited about this. And it's just awesome. And we need to do a part 2 again and kind of go through some other stuff. I usually keep the series kind of, you know, 45 minutes at tops, and you're just amazing. I'm so proud of you where you're at, so proud of what you've been through and everything else. And you know, I hated that you moved way over there, but I mean, it's cool. I mean, you're just living life, right? So that's all good. But it's been a blessing, guys. My name is Lenny Wheeler. This is the Model Way podcast. We had our special guest here, Miss Hannah Broaddus. And it's been just amazing having her on the show. And do you want to give any more final thoughts?
Believe in yourself. And I was told no by probably 50 agencies all over the world. And I finally got my one yes. And that changed my whole life. So just keep going, believe in yourself, and just be kind to yourself as well. Amazing. And listen to the good people around you, like I had Lenny around telling me to keep going.
I know. I wish other people would think the same thing, but no, they do. But I mean, it's just all good. You know, but that's right. Awesome. I'm so super happy for you, Hannah. And thank you so much for coming on to the show. Guys, this is Lenny Wheeler again with the Model Way podcast, where we inspire, motivate, and teach both new and seasoned models industry standards. My name is Lenny Wheeler, your host. Please like, subscribe. Let's get the likes up. Let's get the subscriptions up and the algorithms up. Until next time, hasta la vista.